So, as a DJ, would you prefer to have a long list of music that the client would like to hear for an event, like maybe 60 to 100 songs? Or would you prefer to have just a small sampling of what the client enjoys and DJ around that, take requests, and kind of play to the audience? Every DJ does it different. Some DJs like that long list, and the reasoning is if I'm playing and things aren't going real well, sometimes I can find tracks on that list that I wouldn't think of playing that will work well for this audience. The bride gets excited, the groom gets excited, and the energy comes back to the room. Other DJs take it a step further and say, if I play everything on that list, nobody can get upset with me if things don't go well because they picked all the music. Now, I'm that DJ, and I feel like most of us are, that prefers maybe a dozen songs, maybe 20 songs that the client likes that I can make sure to play throughout the evening so the client's personality is a part of it, but then I'm filling in the blanks. You don't have to tell me that you like AC/DC and Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard and Bob Seger. I get it, you like rock. So just tell me you like rock and I'll play around that. And then I can take requests and then I can kind of see where people are going and make sure that it's a successful event. Everybody dances and has a good time because usually that's the objective. I've done events before where everything's going great. Everyone's having a great time. I'm writing it off as just a very successful event. And then the client comes up and says, hey, why haven't you played all of these songs that I requested? Well, they were requests. I thought they were anyway. But they were viewing this as a playlist. I did an event one time where they wanted reggae for dinner and cocktails. And they weren't specific about reggae. They just wanted reggae. So I dove deep. I educated myself a little bit on dub reggae and found some things. So I wasn't just doing an evening with Bob Marley. And I thought I put together a pretty cool set. They were going to Jamaica on their honeymoon. And then I had this long request list that they had provided as well. And when I started off with dancing, I was playing it because there were some good ones on there. I was cherry picking all of the best songs. After I picked all the best songs, there were a lot of kind of losers in there I didn't think were very good. So maybe, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes in, I just started playing things that I thought would work well, that would be good follow-ups to the tracks I was playing. And the bride comes up and starts yelling at me, why are you playing that song? I didn't request that one. That's not on my list. It was a playlist. This was not a list of requests. That was her perception of this. Now, before I go any further, I feel like I need to just say, this is not about me, or what I want, or what I feel people should be listening to, or any of that. There's no ego here. What I want is to facilitate a successful event for not only the client, but their guests. So if they're dancing all night, that's fantastic. To me, that's successful. If they stick around, if they don't leave, that's a good thing too. Even if they're not dancing, as long as they're sticking around, I think we've got a successful event on our hands. If the playlist that the client provides is counterintuitive to achieving the objective of a successful event, I do get annoyed. It does reflect on me at that point. If there are people in the audience who are looking at me as a prospect to maybe DJ their event, and they're noticing that I'm playing terrible music and no one's sticking around, then they might say to themselves, boy, this guy sucks. So yeah, ultimately it does reflect on me. If the client wants something that sucks, fine. Here you go. I don't always have complete control over this. I try to, especially with my events that I book myself, but I do a lot of subcontract work. I bail a lot of DJs out who have problems and jump in and save the day. And when I do that, most of the time, the organizational stuff is already kind of in play. It's already been done. They've got their own paperwork or whatever. I don't do paperwork at all, by the way. I just talk to the client and make a timeline and custom Word doc because every event is custom. No events are the same, so there's no forms to fill out anymore. I don't do that. So what would you rather do? Have the big playlist or the long request list from the client, or would you rather just have that handful of tracks to work around and kind of do your magic? Let us know in the comments section. It's gig prep time for me. I've got a gig Saturday, so you'll see a gig log from that. We'll see you then. Practice and enjoy.